Barry Weiss is now in charge of CBS News, and she sent Tony Dopical, who famously...
I'm a huge fan of his work. And by work, I mean his op-ed talking about his recircumcision that people can look up if they choose to. When he converted to Judaism, he...
All right, folks, buckle up. We're diving headfirst into a classic example of mainstream media trying to rehabilitate a controversial figure, only to have their own words and their past actions rip the facade right off. Today, we're dissecting a clip about Dave Portnoy, the Barstool Sports founder, once known as the guy that evaluates pizza everywhere. He is now being presented as some kind of victim. Good God. But as we know, in the age of digital receipts, what you say and do online, well, it sticks on you like a bad tattoo, so we know it. Let's roll the tape and see how quickly this narrative unreels. Because I've got a feeling a lot of people are going to be choking on their Diet Coke cans after this one. Let's find the real truth.
Well, his big thing, of course, was attacking Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oh, I'm less of a fan of that, but I'm more amused by this other story that he willfully put on the internet. But yeah, he is a convert to Judaism. He is a Zionist. And so he's now being elevated within the ranks of CBS. He was already pretty high up. He was on, he did that Coates interview. And so this is the kind of stuff that they're covering now at Barry Weiss's CBS. They are focusing on the real victims of hate in our country. People like Dave Portnoy.
Whoa. Hold on a second. The real victims of hate? And they're talking about Dave Portnoy? The man that sold Barstool Sports for a shitload of money and then bought it back because the owners didn't want it anymore for almost nothing? And he's going to lecture us on things in the real world and victims hate? Are we living in an alternative universe? This is like calling the wolf a victim because the sheep finally got a shepherd. It's actually bananas. Now, don't get me wrong. Nobody deserves to be targeted by anti-Semitic slurs or have pennies thrown at them. You know, let's be respectful to each other. But let's stop there, though. But to frame Dave Portnoy, the architect of Barstool Sports, as some kind of poster child for victims of hate, without immediately providing content about the ocean of hate and the misogyny he personally spewed and cultivated, that's not just biased reporting. It's a dereliction of real journalism. It's like saying a victim because someone's a victim because he accidentally singing his eyebrows while lighting the dumpster fire he started. The self-awareness level is zero here, absolutely zero. And the media's willingness to play along is even lower. It's the classic poor me routine for someone who's built a huge empire pushing boundaries and spewing bullshit. You know, crossing the lines and outright offensiveness and then acts shocked when the very culture he helped create accidentally bites him in the ass. That's like Marjorie saying, hey, what's going on with Trump? Why is he so mean to me? That's how it works, honey. You say enough mean things, it's going to come right back to you. This isn't a victim narrative. It's a chicken coming home to roost narrative. He spent years fostering an environment where edgy is an understatement, where women are often targets and where certain brands of aggressive, frat boy humor was supreme. And now he wants to see some kind of ugliness gets directed at him. Suddenly he's the one who needs a hug. I need a safe space. Take care of me, Mom. Give me a break. This is crazy. This isn't about executing anti-Semitism. Again, there's never okay. This is about recognizing the hypocrisy of painting someone as a pure victim when they spent their whole career building a platform that often thrives on the very same kind of aggression, dehumanizing rhetoric they're now supposedly suffering from and afraid of. It's like a bully who got pushed back for once and cries foul. That's ridiculous. The media need to do better than swallow this one-sided portrayal. They need to get both sides. This is an entire setup where the major news network presents Portnoy as a victim without acknowledging the toxic spew he has brewed for years. This isn't a real joke. This is serious. It's not an oversight. It's a calculated whitewashing attempt. And frankly, it's insulting to anyone who actually been a victim of genuine, unprovoked hate.
Incidentally, this is in the wake of Dave Portnoy doing his one bite pizza reviews, I guess. And I can't remember where he was, but somebody came up to him and yelled at him that he was an effing Jew.
And threw pennies at him.
And they throw pennies at him too? Okay. And which is, having had been there, certainly more as a kid, unpleasant, to say the least. But here he is now, and he's had a big argument, I think, on Barstool Sports with one of his co-hosts about making Jewish jokes, because he's very, very sensitive about jokes.
He reminds him he could fire him at any moment.
That's true. Look, sometimes there are jokes that are too sensitive, but let's hear him talk.
I mean, occasionally you get a kike or Jew or whatever. It's every day now. Like, there's a definitive shift in what's going on. So yes, now I for me, being a Jewish person, like you gotta step up. You're kind of someone people look up to in the Jewish community. You have to be like, all right, this is not normal, ha with the guys. People are coming in with real hate.
How do you explain that line to people?
It's a tough one, and sometimes they always don't get it.
And just last week, a man was arrested for using an anti-Semitic slur at Portnoy while he was taping a video in Mississippi.
The success of Barstool and yourself is based on not being afraid to offend, right? Speech is speech, a joke is a joke. Do you see a connection between what you unleashed and what you now have to deal with?
No, because I think Barstool and myself has always had a pretty good moral compass.
A pretty good moral compass? My side. I think my laughter broke the sound barrier. Dave, buddy, if your moral compass is pretty good, then mine's currently pointing to the nearest all-you-can-eat buffet. This is a statement so detached from reality. It needs its own zip code. It's like a serial litter bug claiming to be an environmental activist because he occasionally recycles a soda can. The sheer audacity this guy spits out. This is nuts. It's crazy. Let's be clear. A moral compass isn't something you just say you have. It's something you demonstrate through actions, through the content you produce, and through the culture you foster. And the culture of Barstool Sports, under Portnoy's leadership, has been notoriously, openly, and often glee-filled offensive. We're talking about a brand built on objectifying women, making shocking, crude jokes like you're a frat boy, and generally operating in a moral gray area that most people with an actual moral compass wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. This isn't ancient history we're digging up here. This is the very foundation of the Barstool brand. To claim a pretty good moral compass is to willingly ignore years of documented behavior, not just from Portnoy himself, but from the entire ecosystem he created. It's like a chef opening a restaurant called Healthy Eats and then serving nothing but deep-fried butter sticks and claiming they have pretty good understanding of nutrition. The disconnect is so profound, it's almost impressive in its delusion. And this idea that speech is speech, a joke is a joke, that's a classic deflection of someone who wants all the benefits of offensive speech without any of the responsibility. It's the equivalent of throwing a lit match into a dry forest and then acting surprised when a wildfire, all but insisting it was just a match. No, Dave, your words have power. You had an area that you could say whatever you want. Your jokes were offensive, and you need to fess up to them.
So
Pause it.
Are you fucking
Pause
kidding
it.
me?
Stood for
Pause it. All right. Let's just some of the edgy stuff he wrote. Even though I never condone rape, if you're a size 6 and you're wearing...
Wait. Okay. Oh, we got a clip. We got a clip.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I won't read that one. There's a clip of it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on it. Okay, then, but he's also done like he said the N-word on air, etc. All right, keep going then.
Or we've never stood for hate or anything of that ilk. I mean, do I think that feminists should complain about a Diet Coke can being skinny and that somehow is like leading to a eating disorder by Diet Coke having a skinny can? That I think is crazy. And there are things that I think people get far too worked up, like he, she, verbs, like crazy to me.
All right, pause it for a second.
Making jokes.
I mean, I understand that this guy is
verbs too.
The head of a massive communications company. But he, she are not verbs. They're pronouns. They're not verbs. I did not.
You never heat around?
I was gonna say. I did not she my way to school today. Also, here's the thing about moral compasses. If you've ever taken a compass out and it's pointing not to north, and because maybe there's a magnet that you aren't aware of, you don't know that your compass is askew. That's the danger.
Yeah.
That's really the danger. Sometimes
Company's a
we
giant
don't
Acme
always
magnet.
know if our moral compass is really pointed in the right direction, but let's just finish this up.
That you are trying to hurt people's feelings and are based in hate, that's never flown with us.
Okay,
Never flown.
let's go back to some past flights
There you go.
that Portnoy has made here. And again, it's
So funny what he looks like.
First off, just the shirt itself that he's wearing in this is incredibly offensive. And the fact that we have to show this to you. But listen to Barstool and his self's moral compass. I don't know how long ago this was.
2012.
2012. Okay, fair enough. 14 years ago. Look, in that first interview, he could say, you know, there was a time where I didn't appreciate that there were things that I was saying that were
Right.
Sort of disgusting.
Yeah.
And I'm older and I have a different perspective now. I don't know if I would believe him, but it would make a lot more sense. But let's go back and look at that moral compass.
I never condone rape, but if you're a size 6 and you're wearing skinny jeans, you kind of deserve to be raped.
Correct. I stand by that. I think it's a funny joke.
Do you think rape is funny?
No, I didn't say that. I think it's a funny joke.
Do you understand how offensive that is?
No,
I never
Okay,
condone.
let's just be clear. Where's the joke there? I think women who are dressing in a way that I find suggestive, or women who are a certain size and are wearing a certain type of pant, they deserve to be raped. And the joke is,
You know, Dave Portnoy himself has been accused of pretty severe sexual misconduct, and he sued Business Insider over this report about it, saying it was slanderous. And then his appeal of the dismissal of his lawsuit, he ended up dropping. So turns out it seems like there was a little bit more there than he wanted to admit.
I would just like to enter into the record a little piece from this Patrick CC piece on Portnoy. What will it take to destroy this pizza reviewer? This is about a woman working for him named Maria, who was, I believe, 20 years old. And here's what Portnoy, the moral compass he's talking about.
At the wall to see if it sticks. But with the growth of the company meant that controversies that Dave thought were small would become huge news. In June of 2018, Portnoy said on Barstool Radio that Rhea Kufo, a 20-year-old on-camera Barstool personality, would not be able to put her face in front of a camera in 5 years because people will throw up. Disgusted by the headline, Rhea confronted Dave, asking him why he would make such a rude comment.
We're going to talk about how Dave's ass is in the jackpot, or because he said that I'm gonna look so gross in 5 years that people will puke on camera?
There's a chance I said that.
That is horrible.
Double
That is
jackpot.
really horrible.
I'm just saying you're going to age Rhea because you're in Barstool World like your boyfriend Hank.
Yeah, but in 5 years, people will puke when they see me?
That's aggressive.
That is really aggressive. First of all,
Apologize.
I will not apologize.
yes, my
A stand-up guy also recently tried to say that Greta Thunberg should be bombed on the flotilla.
Yep.
That is an interesting moral compass.
Yeah.
That is a very interesting moral compass. But CBS is now run by Barry Weiss, and so that's CBS News for you.
There
How
you
old was
go.
Portnoy in 2018?
You know, here's the thing. You can't expect a newsroom to be able to find that video like we did. Right? Like, if you're sitting there and you're interviewing somebody and they say to you, we have a moral compass, we would never do any jokes that were about like hate or meant to project hate on anybody. It seems to me, if you are a reporter working at one of the biggest news networks in the country, you would have the resources to say, like, okay, here's my question. Do you think it's wrong for you to make these mean jokes? He could say, yes, I do think it's wrong for you to make these mean jokes. Or no, and we would never do that. Maybe you should have an example of the joke. Now, CBS does not have the crack production team that we have.
Good of a producer you can possibly find.
Investigative reporters and producers that we have here at the Majority Report. Behind these IKEA screens, there is literally hundreds of people working in desks behind us here, coming up with ways of facts.
I do believe I told you yesterday I don't think I was born to work. Was something I said yesterday.
I can appreciate that. I said that at a Super Salad interview, and that did not go over so well with them. I thought I was just being honest. They'd appreciate it. But it's pretty stunning that you can bring that guy on and not challenge him at all.
Yeah.
But make it look like you're challenging him by saying, like, hey, here's a tough question. Don't you think that maybe in the past you guys have crossed that line? No? No? Okay. Yeah, all right.
Take your word for it.
I got it. Cool. Appreciate your being honest and answering that.
Also, it's not as relevant, but look up Dave Portnoy standing on his tiptoes. Because always, it is so funny. He is always, if you look at him off camera, people will take these little videos of him standing next to somebody taller. He's always on his tiptoes. I can't imagine being that insecure.
And I'm not sure if there's like a media person more responsible for the gamification of our sports than Dave Portnoy, who really fetishizes this kind of thing, funneled a lot of young men towards that mentality via Barstool Sports, in addition to like misogyny, racism, all that kind of stuff. But he regularly will like put $1 million on a game and advertise it. And I just think it's like the height of irresponsibility. But
genuinely, like if there is media properties that are responsible for cultivating misogyny over the past 20 years, it is absolutely Barstool with the smoke shows. I mean, that was a 40-year-old man talking to a 20-year-old intern saying she's gonna make people throw up with her physical appearance when she's 25. I mean,
and that, folks, is the mic drop moment. That summary perfectly encapsulates the toxic swamp that Barstool Sports has so successfully cultivated. A 40-year-old man tells a person, like he's a boss, tells a 20-year-old intern, half his age, an employee, that her face was now so repulsive in 5 years, people will puke when they see her. That's not a joke. That's pure, unadulterated misogyny wrapped in a thin veneer of edginess. It's bullying, it's demeaning, and it's a textbook example of creating a hostile work environment, especially for young women. This isn't a locker room. This doesn't talk like the locker room. It's not like what you can say if it doesn't mean anything. It's predatory. It's at work. It's a work function, a workplace. It's crazy. He refuses to apologize. He doubles down and then later claimed a good moral compass? Come on. The level that's so crazy, it's it makes you a pathological liar. It truly does. And who believes the rule simply doesn't apply to him? That his kind of brand of humor is above reproach, no matter how much it degrades or harms people? Come on. This is the grim reality behind the moral compass claims and the victim narrative. It's a brand built on tearing down, objectifying, and often ridiculing people, especially women. And when the very person at the helm of that ship complains about being on the receiving end of any negativity, it reveals a profound lack of self-awareness, an almost comical level of hypocrisy. In a classic case of it, do as I say, not as I do, except for in Portnoy's world. It's do as I say, but don't you dare do it to me. That's how he lives.
I mean, it was a running joke at college that if they had the Saturdays are for the boys banner with the Barstool logo on it, that don't drink any of the punch because you're going to get raped there.
Rapists, yeah.
And there you have it, folks. The curtain pulled back on the Barstool narrative, exposing the glaring contradictions and the sheer hypocrisy at its core. It's a stark reminder that when someone claims to have a good moral compass, it's often worth checking which way it's really pointing. Thank you for watching and listening to our video. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We will talk with you the next time we need to uncover the real truth.